Hi, everybody. This is Michelle Goldstein, and this practice is about grace and embodying grace. So another key component in the alchemy of the heart. So grace is really, it's the ability to completely merge with life. It's an effortlessness, even within the effort, that we apply, and to become graceful is to completely align with everything everywhere. And so really learning to go with the flow, as it were. So go ahead and come to child's pose to start. And sit your hips back on your heels. So to embody grace is to let go of any resistance that we have. Just to allow the breath to flow freely. Allow the breath to flow freely and deeply in and out of your nose. When you're ready, come up to all fours, hands and knees. On an inhale, drop your belly, arch your back to cow pose. And as you exhale, round through your spine to cat. As you inhale, arch your back to cow pose. Good. Exhale, round into cat. One more time. Inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round into cat pose. Good. Inhale to neutral. And exhale, tuck your toes and lift your hips and press back to downward facing dog pose. So take a moment to establish the foundation of your posture. In down dog, that's your hands and your feet. So you root all the corners of the hands and the feet, spread the toes and the fingers. And deep breath within your efforts, you find an effortlessness. So to embody grace as you move through your practice. Again, set your knees down on your mat, please. Extend your right leg straight back behind you as you inhale. And as you exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Good. Now check it out from here. Inhale, extend your right leg straight back. And exhale, bend your elbows for a push-up with the elbows in by the ribs. Good. And inhale, press yourself back up. Exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Inhale, extend the right leg back. Exhale, bend your elbows. Nice. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, hug the right knee in. Inhale, extend the right leg back. Exhale the left arm forwards to the front of the room. Good. Lift your belly up into your body. Lift your rib cage up. Good. Slide the shoulders down the back. And see if you can lower the right hip so that it's level with the left. Nice adjustments. And again, take the hammock out of your spine. So the rib cage lifts, the back bend comes out of the pose. Now, one more breath. Beautiful. Release your hand and knee down. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. And then in a flow, inhale to plank position, upper push-up. And exhale, lower down, chaturanga or the floor. Over the toes, inhale, upward facing dog. Beautiful. And exhale back to downward facing dog. So especially in this practice today, let's really focus on our transitions and the way that we transition from one pose to another in particular. So to start to cultivate graceful transitions on our mat, it's helping set the tone for establishing and creating graceful transitions in our lives. Because ultimately life is the journey. The journey is the destination. Go ahead and set your knees down on your mat again. Extend your left leg straight back behind you on an inhale. And as you exhale, hug your left knee into your chest. Good, and inhale, lengthen the left leg back. Exhale, bend your elbows, that's it. Inhale, press up. Good, exhale, left knee hugs into your chest. Nice, inhale the left leg back. Exhale, elbows bend. Inhale, press up. Good, exhale, left knee hugs in. Good, inhale the left leg back. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, press up, and exhale, the right arm floats forwards to the front of the room. Good, deep breath. Think warrior 3 with the pelvis here, because this is very much like warrior 3. So the left hip drops a little bit. The outer left thigh spirals down. Good, and you lift the belly in. And you push the floor away from you, and you slide your shoulders away from your ears. Good, one more breath. Lengthen and reach something. And exhale, release your hand and knee down to your mat. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Press back downward facing dog pose. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale back to downward facing dog pose. Good. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out the mouth, let it go. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands. Walk or hop your feet up to your hands. Good. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach the arms. Exhale, the palms meet at the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hinge and bow into your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step back to plank position. Beautiful. Lower yourself down, chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Nice. Exhale, back downward facing dog pose. And lengthen through the sides of your body. And feel how all of the little micro movements within the posture, and as you move from pose to pose, just feel how they start to get smoother with the awareness of the possibility of smoothing them out. Inhale, the heels lift. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Good. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, the palms meet at the heart. One more time, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. Good. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog pose. Deeply breathing. Lift your right leg, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot up to your hands. Good. Come up to crescent pose, please. And in your crescent, on an inhale, press your right leg straight. Press your right leg straight, and as you exhale, bend your right knee. Good. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, bend your right knee. One more time. Inhale, right leg straight. Exhale, bend your right knee. Stay low here. Inhale, heart lifting, wrists back a little bit. Good. Exhale, the hands down to your mat. Step back to plank position and take a vinyasa or skip it. Good. So just know that you can skip any vinyasa, you can skip any pose and just rest in child's pose. It's all good. Right, lift your left leg, inhale. Please take care of yourself. Exhale, left foot steps through. Come up to crescent pose on the back toes. So how can you embody grace to practice gracefully? And the breath certainly will help with that. So when we're breathing, we are receiving and giving in flow. So grace implies both. Inhale, left leg straight. Exhale, bend your left knee. Good. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend the left knee. One more time. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, bend your left knee. Stay low here. Inhale, heart lifting, wrists back a little bit. Exhale the hands down to your mat. Step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Nice. Exhale, back downward dog pose. Inhale, heels lift up. Exhale, bring your feet to your hands, please. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees to chair pose on an inhale. And exhale, fold forwards, the legs straighten. Inhale, flat back, heart lifts. Exhale, vinyasa, step or jump back. Up dog, inhale. Good. Downward dog, exhale, step your right foot up to your hands, spin your back heel flat to the floor. Come to warrior one pose on an inhale. And exhale, release your hands down to your mat. Step back either to down dog or lower down through the vinyasa. And when you get to downward dog, step your left foot through, warrior one. So be mindful, like carve the space that you move through. Carve the space that you move through. Release, hands to the mat, step back, lower. Because we're not just moving through nothing, we're moving through atmosphere. So as you move, feel the gentle resistance of atmosphere as you move through it. So feel the resistance of atmosphere and how you can harmonize and gracefully move through it. This is a path of conscious evolution as opposed to just aimlessly moving through time and space. We're consciously moving forwards. We're consciously evolving. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, sit your weight back on your heels. Exhale, fold forwards, the legs straighten. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, come halfway up. Exhale, step or jump to chaturanga. Good. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale, right foot steps through, back heel flat, warrior one pose. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands, and either back to down dog or vinyasa on the way. Good. And take the left side. Step through, warrior one, inhale. Exhale, release. So start to float through your practice. And use your breath as a gauge. So if you're having a challenging time breathing deeply because you're working so hard, perhaps you're working too hard, in which case back it off a little bit. Good. So externally rotate your shoulders and firm the triceps in. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, walk or hop your feet up. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards, the legs straighten. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, step or jump back to chaturanga. Beautiful. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog. Exhale, right foot steps through warrior one pose. Come up, inhale. And exhale, release the hands. Step back to down dog or vinyasa. It's totally up to you. And take the left side as you're ready. And so there's also, with grace, you're not rushing, you're not moving too slowly. If you rush, you might miss something. If you move too slowly, it will become too much work. And then you lose that effortless essence. So find just the right mixture of effort and ease. And from here, lift your right leg up on an inhale. And as you exhale, step your right foot all the way up to your hands, please. Come to warrior one pose. Beautiful. And then from here, go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your heart up on an inhale. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Drop your right shoulder along the inner right knee. Good. Allow your neck to soften. And take your right sitting bone and draw it towards your left heel. Good. Some of you maybe even take a little bit wider stance. You could heel toe that right foot to the right an inch and root the outer edge of the left foot. Good. So hug the right hip in more. Yes, exactly like that. Allow your head to drop completely. Good. Just one more breath. Just come up, warrior one pose. Biggest breath in. Open up to warrior two on your exhale. Good. So from your warrior two, inhale, press your legs straight, reach the arms up, and exhale the palms through the midline of your body. Come back to warrior two pose. Nice, you guys. Again, inhale the legs straight, the arms up. Exhale the palms through the midline. Come back to warrior two. Nice. One more time. Inhale, legs straight, arms reach. And exhale, palms in prayer. Come back to warrior two pose. Good. Take a couple of breaths here. Intentionally in this practice, it's more of a free flow. I do like to pause in the postures for a few seconds, but there won't be super long holds today. So take advantage of these couple of seconds that you're here and really grab the pose. Take one more breath. And from here, turn your left foot out 45 degrees. I know, we're coming into temple pose from here. Soften the elbows. Touch your thumb and pointer finger together for chin mudra. Lengthen your tailbone down. Good, deep breath. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath. We're going to turn to warrior two and face the back of the room. So go ahead and turn that left foot out. The right toes turn in. You're in warrior two position. Nice. Reverse warrior. Big breath in. And as you exhale, come to side angle pose. Either the left elbow to left thigh, or some of you take the left hand down to the ground if that feels good to you. You're also welcome to use a block. Maybe you take the right arm over the right ear if that feels good, but breathing deeply. So let there be a gentleness, especially in this practice. This is a strong practice. Even in a soft, flowing practice, it still takes strength to hold yourself in these postures. So allow your strength to be permeated with grace. Otherwise, it's just brute force. And I'm sure there's a lot of gray area between brute force and grace, but more on the graceful end of things. One more breath here. Take both hands down to the ground on the floor. Come up on the back toes and reach your left arm up for a twist. Good. The inner edge of the left foot press. And the shoulders slide away from the ears. And the belly firms in and the rib cage lifts. One more breath, open it up. Exhale, release the left hand down. Good. Step back to plank position. Please bring your feet together, roll to the outer edge of the left foot, reach the right arm up for side plank, or any variations that you like. There's tree, maybe you hook the right big toe, maybe you come in for a little back bend, or maybe classic Vashi. It's totally up to you. But allow it to be beautiful, allow it to be graceful, allow it to feel effortless, even though you are absolutely exerting great effort here. One more breath. Release to plank, and either back to dog or lower down chaturanga. Good. Up dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Lift your right leg, inhale. Exhale, bring the right knee to the left elbow for a breath. Good. And then to the right elbow for a breath. And then lift your right leg up, inhale. And again, exhale, right knee to left elbow. Good. To right elbow. Good. Lift the right leg, inhale. And one more time, right knee to left and to right. Lift the right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot through to the front of your space. Come up, warrior one pose. Beautiful, everybody. Open up to warrior two, warrior two. Press your right leg straight, please. And make your way into triangle pose. Lengthen forwards. Right hand grabs a block on the outer right foot or the right shin or the floor. Good, deepest breath. And so just to bring even awareness to embodying grace, just be mindful of how that is changing your practice and the way that you practice. And also be mindful of the fact that while it's amazing to be able to practice this on the mat, it is possible to practice it anywhere, anytime. Okay, from here, step up to half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Flex your left foot. Slide your shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful, everybody. One more breath in. And then so soft, step back to warrior two pose, warrior two. One more time, reverse warrior, inhale. And we are coming back in for side angle pose, this time on the right side. Some of you take the wrap. Good, breathing, breathing. In side angle, see if you can get the crown of your head aligned with your right foot and your right knee. So for many of us, it means we can lean back a little bit. Press the outer left foot. Just one more breath. These look beautiful. Come on up to warrior two. Good. Press your right leg straight, please. Turn your right foot in 90 degrees. So the feet are parallel on this side. Turn the toes in a little bit. And then see if you can take either your palms together behind your back for the Paschimo Namaskar, or take the fists together behind your back and draw the shoulder heads back. Good. So from here, soften the lower ribs into the back ribs and fold forwards. This particular position with the palms together behind the back, I believe is really worth working towards. So if you cannot do it easily, I suggest you practice it often, not just because it looks cool, because it does, it looks super cool, but it's also excellent for healing repetitive strain injuries in the wrists, the forearms, and even in the fingers a little bit. But especially with our use of devices, meaning, phones and computers and stuff, we tend to get repetitive strain injuries more and more and more. So this particular stretch especially will help that. Go ahead and release your arms down and just let the blood flow into the joints. Take your shoulders away from your ears, and some of you maybe walk your hands to be in line with your feet. And lift the kneecaps up. And shift your weight forward slightly. Come all the way up to stand when you're ready. Come all the way up to stand. Beautiful. Now from here, turn your left foot out to the front of the room. Bend your left knee. You're in Warrior Two pose. Good. So in this Warrior Two, wrap your right arm under your left arm so you've got an eagle wrap with the arms, which if you're doing this entire series, you'll see I teach this pose quite a bit. I'm a big fan. I teach eagle quite a bit. Now turn to face your left leg and step your right leg up and over your left leg for eagle pose. Good. Be gentle with yourself. And sometimes when we slow down the transitions a little bit, it helps us be more graceful because we start to investigate the micro movements and we can become more skillful in slightly slower motion. Now sit the sitting bones down and lift the frontal hip points up. And take one more breath, sit down into it. Beautiful. Now see if you can transition from here to crescent pose. Unravel the arms and the legs. Take a giant step back on your back toes. You're in a high lunge. The arms float up. Bring the palms together in front of your heart and take a prayer twist to the left. Twist to the left. Lift the rib cage slightly. Take the shoulder heads back. Shoulder blades together. Good. Extend out through the right heel, and without lifting the hips, lift the right thigh up into its socket. That's it. From here, softly step your right foot up to meet your left foot so you're in a twisting chair pose. We're not holding here for very long, but just see if you can just take like 2 deep breaths in here and come to chair and come up to stand. The palms meet at the heart. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel your feet on the ground. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, step back or jump back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, back, downward facing dog pose. You can sigh. You don't have to, but you can. Lift your left leg, inhale. Exhale, left foot steps through to lunge. Come up, warrior one pose. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Switch the grip, one finger over, heart lifts, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards, fold forwards. So there's this tendency for that left hip to collapse out to the left. See if you can do the opposite and hug the left hip into center. Hug the left hip into center and root the outer right foot. Soften your gaze, soften your jaw, soften your brow. And even allow the intensity of the stretch to be a little bit soft. Beautiful. Come up, warrior one pose, inhale. Open up to warrior two on your exhale. Inhale, the legs straight, the arms up. Exhale, bend the left knee, palms connect at the heart, come to warrior two. 2 more times. Inhale, legs straight, arms up. Exhale, palms through the midline, come back to warrior two pose. One more time, inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, bend the left knee, come back to warrior two. Good, just a couple of breaths here, soften the shoulders. Still in warrior two pose. Good. Just simply turn your right foot out 45 degrees. So again, we're in temple pose. This time, reach the arms up. Take the palms together above your head. Soften your shoulders. Good. If this feels like strain for your back, bring the palms closer together at your heart. If you've got it, you can take the arms up higher. Good. See if you can lift your heels up. Lift the pelvic floor. It will help you. Lift the low belly. Sit down on another inch. And bring the palms together in front of your forehead. The palms together in front of your heart. Good. And then spin to warrior two. Face the back of the room. Nice. Inhale, reverse warrior. Like you're flowing through water. Exhale to side angle pose. Come on in, breathe. So there's an elegance to grace. It's this sense of when we let go and allow life to flow through us, then our efforts, which of course we make, become in some sense effortless. Because they're just flowing, it's just flowing. So allow it to be a little easy. One more breath. Okay, both hands down now to the ground. Come up on the back toes. Maybe you heel toe that right foot over to the right an inch and reach the right arm up for a twist. Slide the shoulders away from your ears. Relax your face like you're actually having a nice time. Fake it till you make it sometimes if you're working hard on your mat. I get it, but let it be somewhat enjoyable. Life's too short to beat yourself up, especially not on your yoga mat. Take one more breath. Okay, release the right hand down. Step back to plank. Bring your feet together, please. Roll to the outer right foot. Reach the left arm up. You're in side plank. Any variations that you took on the other side, you may take the same one. You could take a different one. There's no law that says it has to be the same on both sides. Even though for the most part, I like to keep it kind of the same on both sides, the reality is I've been brushing my teeth with the same hand my entire life, and I'm relatively fine. I've got some issues, but they have nothing to do with the way that I brush my teeth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like focus on the things that really need attention and let the small stuff go. One more breath. Okay, release the left hand down. You're in plank pose. And either shift back to dog or take a vinyasa if you want it. Okay, I can take a hint in here. We only have one last little bit. Okay, go ahead and lift your left leg. Inhale. You're doing amazing, you guys. Left knee to the right elbow. Good, and to the left elbow. Lift the left leg. Inhale. And one more time, smooth it out. Left knee to right, to left. Good, lift the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot through to the front. Come up, warrior one, or the back as the case may be. Open up to warrior two. It's all in your perspective, isn't it? Press your left leg straight. Triangle pose. It's all in the perspective. If you turn the front around, it becomes the back. And so this is just, we're all seeing things through different eyes. And to be able to see through your eyes, but recognize that that's not the whole, that there's something much, much, much bigger than our eyes could ever fathom happening in every given moment. And our work is to surrender to that. And the entire point of letting go like that to the flow of grace in our lives, everything moves more easily. It feels nicer. Step up to half moon pose, as opposed to grunting and groaning and kicking and screaming, which I would say are the polar opposites to this. deep breath. Deep breath. If you ever find yourself gripping and groaning and whatnot and fighting yourself, back off. Take a few steps back. There's time, there's space. There's infinite time and infinite space if you allow yourself to understand life as such. Take one more breath. Take a step back, giant step back to warrior two pose. Good. Press your left leg straight, please. Turn your left foot in 90 degrees so the feet are parallel. And we're going to take the Paschimottanasana Namaskar again. The palms come together behind the back. Some of you maybe walk the fingertips up the back. And I know for me, when I start to come into this pose, I have a tendency to collapse in the middle. So just hug the lower ribs in, shoulder heads back, and fold forwards. Fold forwards. Allow your neck to soften completely. Any of these postures where the head comes below the heart are especially therapeutic for the body because they allow the heart a chance to rest. The heart spends most of its time all day pumping fresh, oxygenated blood to different parts of your body, including your brain, which uses the majority of it. And when you get the head low, then you can let gravity assist the heart. And so you start to oxygenate your brain more easily, and it allows the body a chance to rest. Release your hands when you're ready. Let the blood and energy flow back into the area. And come on back up to stand, please. Turn your right foot out to the front. You come to warrior two pose with the left leg back and the right arm reaches forwards. Bend the right knee. Left arm wraps under the right arm for eagle wrap. Good. Give it a little squeeze. Good. And then turn to your right leg and step your right leg up and over your left leg as gracefully as you can without attaching to the notion. Because once we're attached to an outcome, there's an agenda, and that's actually the opposite of grace. So there's no agenda with grace. Maybe you should listen to your heart and dial into your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, and then let everything else go. So maybe you have an intention, great, set it and show up and work for it, but just knowing when to create action and efforts and when to completely let go. These are the skills that we're processing here. And yeah, you're getting a great stretch and some excellent strength and the muscles that hold you upright. You know, there's a lot of perks to practicing yoga asana, but yoga is much, much bigger than anything that your body could contain. Now sit down one more inch and then just gently unravel. Softly step back to crescent pose with the left foot. If you need to make adjustments, make them. Palms connect in front of your heart and take a prayer twist to the right. If you get into a pose and it feels like it's not right, you need to maybe lengthen the left heel back or bend the right knee more. Please do that. We're living, breathing, dynamic beings that are ever changing. That's the only thing that's constant. The only thing that does not change is change itself. So be responsive to the way your body moves and transforms in any given moment. Take the right shoulder head back and step your right foot up to meet your left. So you're in a twisting chair pose. See if you can hug that left knee back a little bit so the pelvis comes level and the hips sink down and the heart opens. Good. And this time, everybody, go ahead and fold forwards. Allow your head and neck to drop. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet about hips distance apart if they're not already. And slide your hands, if you can, palms up under your feet. And so if you need to bend your knees to get this to happen, then you can bend your knees a lot. Bend them generously, but see if you can get your toes up onto your wrists. And when you do that, you are activating a powerful acupressure point that's a great stress reliever right there on your wrists. And then slide the shoulders away from the ears and allow your head to drop. Good, everybody. Release your hands. Step back to downward dog pose. Set your knees down on your mat and stand up on your knees. So we'll take Ustrasana, camel pose from here. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked. It's entirely up to you. But do get a lot of cat tilt with the pelvis, so lengthen the tailbone down, frontal hip points lift up. If it helps you to press down with your hands, then do that. Down on the hips to lengthen the tailbone, also down, and then lift the heart up. Good. Bring the shoulder blades together. Some of you reach back for your heels. If you can't reach back for your heels, it doesn't feel safe, then don't do it, right? Please, there's not a yoga pose they invented that's worth throwing your back out over. You know what I mean? Like, let this practice heal your life. Let it send you deeper into your truth. There's no need to push it over the edge. Keep it smart. One more breath. Good. Come up. Sit back on your heels. Close your eyes. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. And just receive the moment easily. Gently open your eyes and come up for one more round of camel. If you have a practice where you want to take it deeper, you certainly can come into king pigeon pose, Raja Kopatasana. Otherwise, I'm not going to teach it specifically, but just to throw that out there for you yogis at home. Otherwise, camel. Here we go. Nika's going for it. It's not about getting into a more advanced variation. It's about opening your heart, right? We're opening our hearts to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture, the flow of energy in the bigger picture is love. Love. Take one more breath. All right, everybody, come up. Cross your ankles behind you. Sit back on your bottom. And when you get to your bottom, bring your knees together in front of you. Bring your knees together and wrap your arms around your shins. Drop your forehead to your knees. Maybe you even round a little bit through your back to counter stretch the back bend. Good. And then get some extension through your spine. So lengthen, come up. And extend your right leg forwards in front of you. And take your left foot on the outside of your right leg. Keep your right leg straight, flex your right foot. Reach the left arm up and back behind you. We're coming in for a twist. And the right arm up and over the left leg. And actively participate in every bit of it. So we're extending awareness to every part of our body. Our mind, our emotional body, our energy, and our spirit. They all work together. All these layers, they work together to make us who we are. Take one more breath. Okay, come back to center and keep your legs like this, but go ahead and take your left ankle to the outer right hip. So we're coming in for half Gomukhasana with the legs. The left knee stacks on top of the right knee. Now, some of you may not be able to get that, and that's fine. If your left knee is way up high, that's fine. But the right leg's straight, right leg straight. So it's half Gomukhasana, yeah, like this. And reach the arms up and fold forwards. So like Gomukhasana, you'll get a stretch in the piriformis muscle, but unlike classic Gomukhasana, you'll also get stretch in the outer hip, hamstrings, and IT band, which are always fun muscles to stretch. And honestly, the ones that are the least fun are often the ones that we need the most. If this is aggravating any part of your body, then take your left foot to your right thigh and take Janu-Shirshasana as a modification. Breathe deeply here. I actually love this stretch. It's intense, but you know that it's working. And with your breath, you can move in there. With your mind and your awareness, you can move in there and gracefully let go and create space in your body, space in your life. Because the mind, the heart, the body, the energy that flows through us, and the spirit, because they all come together in one complete package, inevitably, when we make space in one, we create space in all of them. So creating space in the body will create space in other ways. Press yourselves up. Press your left leg straight. Bend your right knee. And take your right foot to the outside of the left leg. Flex the left foot. And then right arm reaches up and back behind you. And the left arm wraps around. So as you sit in the pose, you're not a statue, you're not a robot, you're a human being. So allow the grace of life to move through you. And on a very fundamental, basic level, this we're doing with every conscious breath that we take. And the thing is that we're breathing anyway and we're moving anyway. But when we wake up the awareness behind what we're doing, it transforms the experience. And it actually is an opportunity to reclaim our power, to claim our power. Come back to center. Slide your right knee on top of your left so the right foot comes to the outer left hip. Reach the arms up, left leg straight, and fold forwards. So truly, force destroys things, whereas power enhances them. And so by stepping into our power, and our power is in our conscious presence, our peaceful presence. So we're stepping into our power here by becoming more graceful, by opening the heart and allowing our hearts to align with the heart of the universe. Good. Just one more breath, deep inhale, and actually stay in the pose, but exhale and relax a little bit. Press yourselves up. Straighten your right leg in front of you. Reach the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, fold forwards into Paschimottanasana. And from here, we're going to roll ourselves up and into a soft shoulder stand. So first, you'll come onto your back and come to plow. So when I say soft, I mean keep a lot of space between your chin and your chest. And if for any reason you don't want to come into plow or shoulder stand, you're welcome to take a restorative inversion with Viparita Karani on a block, where you lift your hips up and slide the block under your hips and lift the legs. Perfect. When you've had enough of plow, then you can move into shoulder stand. Exactly, just like this. In fact, this pose, Viparita Karani on a block, is one of my favorite pastimes. I could just hang out like that. It's really nice stuff. And if it helps you to keep an extra little bend in the hip so that you have a little more space in the neck and the upper back, do that. There's a natural curve in the neck, and we want to honor that curve. The goal is not to crank it. It's just the opposite, right? Be graceful in your postures. Be graceful with yourself, with your heart. Be graceful in your transitions. Bend your knees by your ears. And lower yourself all the way down to your back. And when you get to the ground, straighten your legs to the floor and slide your hands, palms down under your bottom. So we're going to take fish pose to counter stretch. Slide your hands, palms down under your bottom. Come up onto the crown of your head. Bring the shoulder blades together a little bit. And take a couple of very deep breaths into your heart and into your lungs. You can literally stretch the intercostal muscles that hold the rib cage together. You can stretch them with your deep breathing. And by stretching them, you'll actually be able to breathe more deeply. One more breath. Go ahead and release and come onto your back and bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh and arms like cactus arms by your side, and just windshield wiper your legs to the right. Just drop your knees to the right. Just enjoy it. You've worked hard to get here. You've been flowing pretty hard for almost 55 minutes. Allow your body to rest. And by the way, you don't need an excuse for why you want to let your body rest. It's always a good idea. You never need an excuse or an apology. Come back to center and switch sides. I don't know why some days I have a lot of energy and I do a lot of strong yoga and I'll go for a hike or something, long walk on the beach. And some days I just need to chill, lay around and not do so much. I don't know why some days I'm so hungry I could eat everything and other days I'm just not and I don't. But the idea is that life is ever changing and we're learning to listen and respond to the rhythms of it. And to be graceful is to be completely responsive. It's just happening. It's just moving through you easily. Come back to center. And hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And go ahead and release your arms and your legs to the floor and rest in Shavasana. Close your eyes. And with every cell in your body, radiate peace. radiate peace, and whenever possible, teach peace by example. Feel free to rest in Shavasana for as long as you like. Thank you so much for your practice, everybody. Beautiful work. Namaste.